What's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is, baby. It's AA Sports. Straight sports, no damn chaser. You got the super team of sports talk here with y'all on one half of it. Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian. Here checking in with my main man, my partner in crime. I like to call him the 6 foot and under post-up champ. Man, tell these people who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, broadcasting live here on a Thursday. People, we were just sitting here talking. It's amazing how if you take a week off, it feel like a whole lot of shit that happened. Just one
right. Yeah, that's it. That's it, man. Like you say, it feel like we ain't touched y'all in at least 2 weeks, but I guess it's only been 1 week. So we appreciate y'all nonetheless. Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes you may need a little break.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we appreciate y'all as always, people tuning in. This is episode 209. Go check us out on either podcast platform, whether it be Spreaker or iTunes. And then also know we got the YouTube channel up. So check us out there. We appreciate y'all's support. Leave us some comments. Hit us up on Twitter, things of that nature. Football season is coming to an end. We have one more game left. Of course, we're going to touch on that a little bit. I think we'll save our predictions and what have you for next week, so we'll have something to talk about next week before we get to the big game. But we're going to talk about how the teams that are playing in the big game, we're going to talk about how they got there. We had another surprise big-name player retire and hang it up. Yeah. Another one, not so much of a surprise. We'll touch on that. A few other little –
yeah, he's showing
yeah, a few other things. I think the last coaching vacancy was filled since we last spoke with y'all. I think McCarthy was the last one that got hired when we last did the last episode. But nonetheless, man, yeah, we're just going to chop it up a little bit tonight. Again, we had to come give y'all something. We couldn't wait till next week. That would have been too much of a gap without coming in and talking to y'all. So we had the championship game last week. Of course, we'll talk about the AFC side first since they played first that afternoon. Titans and the Chiefs. Of course, we all know by now the Chiefs beat them down pretty good, and they are going to be the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. To me, Tennessee, we kind of knew they had one shot, one path of victory, so to speak, and that was to run the ball, limit Mahomes' in possessions. And it didn't happen. They were not able to run the ball like they had the previous 2 rounds. And when they can't run the ball, their offense comes to a screeching halt.
Absolutely. You got to have Mahomes on the sideline. And, that's a pretty daunting task to sit there and say my running back got to get 150 plus every week for us to have a chance.
Right. Which was what kind of made the anointing, if you will, of Ryan Tannehill kind of weird. Right. It's like, come on. He's still Ryan Tannehill. Granted, yes, he brought this team from the dead this year, if you want to say that. He played better than I thought he would. He damn sure played better than probably any year in Miami. So I give him his props for that. But the limitations were still there a little bit.
Absolutely, limitations was there, and people, your play action is the shit when you got a back who's behind you, going for damn near 200 yards a game. So your wide receivers are running one-on-one. Ain't no safety over the top when they got to deal with Derrick Henry. So, but, I think the first week he didn't have to throw the ball much against New England. I think he threw the ball eight times, maybe 10.
Give or take, yeah.
And then the next week when they played the next game, he didn't have to throw the ball much either. Well, Kansas City decided he's going to have to throw the ball. They decided that, and that's what they tried to do. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for him. A.J. Brown's going to be good, but right now he's not there yet against seasoned corners or seasoned secondary. Mm-hmm. Before we put all the, talk about the offense of Kansas City, that defense really came together, about 6 weeks ago? They really started balling 6-7 weeks ago.
Yeah, they definitely tightened up. They tightened up some things and started to play a hell of a lot better. Absolutely. So, then it also helps too when the offense is creating leads, and you know what I'm saying, now you can kind of play from a head standpoint. That absolutely helps as well.
You remember early in the year we were talking about Frank Clark, like, you got that bread when you gonna show up.
right?
He showed up later on when it counted. I think they'd like to see consistent production from their high-priced free agent, but I know they're not mad right now in KC from what they've been getting from him. He's been an animal, these last 2-3 games. Pretty much all of their free agent signings have worked out. Bringing Henry and Honey Badger. Those are the main two I can recall off the top of my head, but it's clicking, man. It's clicking. Yeah. I'm not pleased with Andy just don't want to run the ball. I think he ran a 12
he better
late, but
he better learn.
Yeah. He's this is probably, I'm trying to think of a Super Bowl I've looked forward to outside of Carolina getting there. This is probably the most anticipated Super Bowl I've looked at in a while, because it's a great matchup, offense. Defense.
Definitely a good matchup. A lot better. I would not have cried one single tear if it had been Tennessee. But outside of course, being a 49er fan, that not would have been a good matchup for the rest of the viewing population. Right. That would have had beat down written all over it. But us Kansas City is good. I was hoping to get another shot at Baltimore. We ain't got to go. But touch on them. But no, this is a definitely good matchup. Top rated offense, top rated defense, strength versus strength. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens.
Right now, today. Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the NFL right now,
right? Yeah. I would say so.
Who's up there with him? Who might be?
And see, I'm glad you brought that up, because I thought about this when, you got Breeze having announced what he gonna do. We've got the speculation with Brady, Phillip Rivers. He need to be 2 sheets to the wind. We saw Eli just walk out or announcing that he will retire officially tomorrow through a press conference. But you look at all these guys that are now leaving the game, that was pretty much your elite class all these last 10 years. Yeah. So now you got Aaron Rodgers left, Ben still hanging on to whatever he's going to be if he can get back to Pro Bowl level, we'll see. But you got the young guys now taking over. So when you start thinking about elite quarterbacks, you got a lot of young guys. I'm putting – okay.
Let's do that, because, like you said, that's the top tier. Breeze, Brady, Rodgers, and Ben is right there on that edge. So I'm saying Mahomes. Rodgers is still there.
Yeah, Rodgers still there. Brady, I don't think Brady is elite. Brady ain't in the elite class no more.
No, I'm not talking about the dudes who on
the old guys. Okay, I'm with you, Dan.
Brandon. Okay. Right. So we're gonna say Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers is still there.
Aaron Rodgers, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is still there. I'm putting Lamar Jackson there. And the reason I say Lamar, not over Deshaun. Deshaun is in that group too.
Okay, so you got him.
But typically people say, well, Lamar Jackson ain't elite. He proved again in the playoffs. Nah, you have to kind of change your thinking, because you can't look at the quarterback position now as just a pure pocket thing. Yep. Yeah, you damn sure need to still be efficient and be able to do that. Don't get me wrong, but you got to start factoring in what these guys and their athleticism and their running ability with the ball, extending plays, doing things that a pocket passer can't do. You got to start now definitely accounting for that, because you look at least a third of the league. That's what's happening. That's what's going on.
No, that's legit.
I think a healthy Cam Newton is still in the group with these young guys. I think he can still hold his own.
I say second, third tier. So let's focus on first tier.
Okay.
You got Lamar first tier, right? Where do you put Russell Wilson?
Oh well, Russell's definitely there. Russell's definitely there. So like elite is, if you want to say elite.
Yeah, we're talking elite. Let's do that first tier, the first 4 or 5, just straight up.
Russell, Mahomes, Rodgers.
It's tight from there, ain't it?
That's probably about it.
I can't think of nobody else. Unless we say, is Breeze elite?
You know what? Just to make it easy, we're just gonna not even count the old guys.
Let's do that.
Because the fact that we now have to think about it and we pause,
Right.
Used to be no hesitation. Drew Brees is elite. It's like, why are you even asking that question? Now
Right.
the fact that we even got to think about it, it's a maybe, it's borderline. I think that tells us all we need to know. Let's just leave the old guys out because they're gonna be gone either this year or a year from now anyway.
So
I'm excited about this new class. Yeah, I think that's about it. Russell, Pat, Aaron, and
right,
then
so knocking on the door would be Deshaun and Lamar.
Deshaun, Lamar.
Tight, ain't it?
Yeah, I actually like Carson Wentz when he's healthy and got weapons. But that situation is obviously complicated and not worked out. You know what I'm saying? That's about it. I really can't put Dak right there with those guys yet.
No, he'd be in the second class though.
But yeah, he's right there. It's a lot of guys that's like right there together. So you know, funny we did not once mention the highest paid one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the league, Jared Goff.
Nah, yeah, he's buyer's remorse like a motherfucker.
Hey man, he ain't better than my quarterback.
No. I mean, but it's legit, like you just said. After those three, it's real piled up like 285 right there.
Yeah, it's tight. Oh, forgot about Matt. I think Matt's still good.
Second tier though.
But yeah, not elite. Yeah, I think he definitely still right there in that second tier. He can definitely. I still think take Atlanta some places, but they got a lot of other shit going on too.
Yeah, they got a lot going on, and we can stay on Aaron Rodgers. What did it seem to you like they had legit designs on winning that game?
I was disappointed in Green Bay. Because of course we beat their ass like a month ago. So of course playoff time. You can't really just say, yeah, we're gonna do that again. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to get cocky, but I thought we were the better team going into that game. I thought we were just bigger physically and bigger, stronger, faster than them anyway. And the thing about it though, you can't measure heart, and they didn't bring any. They left that shit.
What we been saying all year?
Right.
We talked about their legit wins. We said they hadn't. I know I said at least they hadn't been the same since y'all put the beat down on them.
Right.
They had a few, quality here and there, but it just. I guess if anything, you can take this year as a stepping stone for them because they finally spent money in free agency. They got to go get some weapons. They have to. Them young boys, I mean, they done gave them 4 or 5 years, to try to become a solid number 2 and a number 3. That hasn't worked out. Devontae Adams is all they got weapons wise. Jimmy Graham is the ghost of Jimmy Graham, and the running backs.
They got they did pretty good this season though. So I think they're moving in the right direction. Aaron's choice of words and comments after the game was not surprising at all. Him saying this was the happiest he's been or something to that effect in a couple seasons. So
didn't that feel like a shot at McCarthy?
Oh, it was absolutely a shot at McCarthy.
Who's more passive aggressive, him or LeBron?
I think LeBron is more. See, when Aaron Rodgers does it, it's like his sting more.
But you know what? I'm sitting there thinking about that. I'm like, shit, this dude don't even like his family. So it don't even matter.
Yeah, so it's, you just kind of know that's him. LeBron is, it's a little different because, he act one way, but then when shit is going wrong and ain't going the way that he, he like, then you're going to hear something from. We haven't heard anything this year. They 34-8 or whatever the fuck they are.
All LeBron want to do is win. Y'all play hard, do what he want. He gonna be happy.
That's it. But his
passive aggressive shit that he does. And I was thinking about it watching the game. I said, man, just like I said a couple weeks ago, Aaron Rodgers is really looking like Nas right now. He's really Illmatic, and it was written. We been kind of lean. So maybe this was his Stillmatic year. You know?
Yeah, I can't really put too much on him, man. I mean, our defensive line was in his ass this game.
Yeah.
You say, with the weapons outside of Devontae Adams being kind of limited, the defense did not show up at all. When you let Raheem Mostert and the whole team run for, I think, 280 or whatever the hell we ran, in the NFC Championship game, I don't care who the hell the quarterback is. If you only got to throw 8 passes or 10 passes or whatever the hell Jimmy threw, and you still win comfortably, that means your defense did not strap on their chin straps.
Mostert had 169 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first goddamn half. The 30-yard touchdown, he didn't get touched.
It didn't look like he was running fast, cuz. It looked like he was jogging. I was like, yeah.
Hey, but homie said that, might have been a different game we had that's up here in Lambeau. It's cold, it's different. Nah, I think they beat y'all ass in the cold too.
I mean, we built for that too. That's a crazy thing. Like, we're a sunny California team, but we built to go play whatever kind of style, win any kind of game. And you know what I'm saying?
Y'all have a cold weather style with the running game. You're like, okay, they go here, it's cold. Okay, they're gonna put sleeves on and still run the ball down the damn throat. Good call, Aaron.
Yeah. But speaking of sleeves, I feel we didn't come on last week. I can't remember. Did we have a sleeve bet? DK Metcalf. I don't remember whether he wore sleeves or not. But but yeah, man,
he showed out. But
but
if Jimmy ain't got to throw the ball but 8 times, why would you force it? Why? If y'all can run the ball that way,
right? No. Exactly. In the game before as well, the second half he didn't have to throw it. He had an interception that game, and people keying on the interception. But if you think about it, that was a stretch there in our season after Kittle was hurt, the fullback Juice was hurt. Yeah. Those are 2 big pieces of our run game, and we actually had fell off big time in the run game in the middle part of that season. And we were still putting up points. So what that means? That means that we were still able to pass the ball. With Shanahan play calling, we just don't need Jimmy. Just don't fuck it up. It sounds game managerish to a degree. It is, but we've seen him. Jimmy can make some throws. Jimmy can spin the ball. He just gotta cut back. I told you at the beginning of the season, I thought that his problem was he's a little too damn confident.
Yeah.
Because his interceptions are him trying to fit balls in the windows, like, dog, come on. But you look at some other tape where he's converting some of them same throws, and you see kind of why he got the confidence that he got. Yeah. I didn't realize he was the highest rated passer in the league on third downs this year, whole season. And went behind. I'm sorry, and went behind in a game. So yeah, he's got comeback ability. He can definitely hold us in the road if we need to. But again, if you don't have to pass the ball and you can run it and chew up clock and then come and let your defense do its thing, hey man, that's a good recipe.
I think it's funny how Kyle's been telling the media this week, yeah, I learned from the Falcons Super Bowl. I'm gonna run the ball.
Hey, he better. If it comes down to that, yeah, he absolutely better. But
he learned at their expense.
Hey, everybody can say that till you get in that moment. If the moment come up, not this Sunday, but 2 Sundays from now, and he been screaming that, I've learned from Atlanta. Then he get in the game and started thinking, I've been saying that shit for 2 weeks. They know we gonna run it. Let me run this play action pass right here. Let me run this little slip screen pass and then fuck it up. Be right back to the same thing. So we'll see. We'll see come game time.
So this is year 3 of him and Lynch, right?
Right. Yep.
It's pretty fucking good to be year 3 on the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the first year, of course, I think it was 2-14 the first year. No expectations at all that year. Then we get Jimmy. And, we had expectations last year, at least trying to get back to the playoffs as a wild card or whatever. And then Jimmy tore his knee up. And then this year it was like, okay, now we need to do what we were supposed to do last year. And I would have loved to see this. I would have hoped to see this as a realistic fan. But I told you when we did our predictions, I thought we were anywhere between an 8 and 10 win team. I didn't think we were 3 last second plays away from being undefeated. That type of season. So we have drafted pretty good. I mean, you look at the rookies that are contributing. Of course, Debo. You look on the defensive side. Dre Greenlaw, the linebacker, he's a rookie. Yeah. We've got another rookie that filled in while Quan was out. I'm thinking Nick Bosa. It's a couple others too. So this team has been put together pretty damn good, and a lot of people still on rookie deals.
I was about to say, you got Jimmy under contract, which seems team friendly at this point. I can't think of anybody right now that's due real money for y'all. So
we got a few. Eric Armstead, he actually led the team in sacks.
But you got him, DeForest. So who you think you keeping? Because aren't both of them around the same time?
DeForest came in a year before. Okay. They were teammates at Oregon, but DeForest came in a year before. DeForest, he got paid last summer.
Okay.
So he's tied up. DeForest tied up. Of course, Bosa's on a rookie deal. Yeah. So Armstead is the only starter that we got to sign up in this free agency all season. The problem with that is he led the team in sacks. He should have been a Pro Bowler, but he got snubbed, in my opinion. But you got the other teams out there that are going to look at this season and maybe try to overpay. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure that out. Jimmy Ward got to be paid. He's got a contract that's up, and Emmanuel Sanders. Okay. He's not under contract after this shit. So we got a couple people to figure out. But you know how we do contracts. I think we'll figure it out. Jimmy being on only about a $25 million salary is great. Yeah. With him only making $25 million and some key players still on rookie deals and already locked up, and we'll be in good shape for at least the next couple of years. We should.
Exactly. That opens your window with a manageable quarterback salary all day long. So we talked about Green Bay. We talked about Tennessee. Which way you want to go?
We're gonna, of course, we'll that's good for the AFC, NFC, because we're gonna come back next week and we're gonna talk about what we think gonna happen in the Super Bowl and all of that. But shout out to San Francisco, shout out to my Niners, shout out to Kansas City. We'll see y'all in Miami.
Absolutely.
We'll see y'all in Miami.
Let's talk about some other NFL stuff. Last week, the Cleveland Browns hired Kevin Stefanski. He was the gentleman that they wanted to hire. Well, one of the couple of the people in the building wanted to hire him, and the GM wanted to hire Freddie Kitchens. Now both of them ain't got no damn job. So,
yeah, and it's crazy. I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure they already kind of had this decision made before the divisional game when Minnesota played San Francisco. But you saw what Minnesota's offense was able to do in that game, which is virtually nothing. And then the offensive coordinator from that game get a job like 48 hours later.
Right.
It looked crazy, but hey, that is what it is. Now, he hired a questionable name as a coordinator, didn't he?
Who?
Damn. I was hoping you would know because I can't think off the top of my head, but it made me say, really?
I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name though. But
was it Jay? No, Jay Gruden went to the Jaguars.
Yeah, he's with the Jaguars. The big thing going with them right now, you got to get Baker to buy in. You got to get Baker to buy in. And, I think I mentioned a couple weeks ago, everybody who was in that building who made the decision to hire Baker, they're gone. So this has to be the turnaround. You got all of last year as the starter. You played, I think you started week 7 and on the first year. So I think they're going to give him a legit solid run at it this year. I mean, physically, quarterback-wise, you think he's talent-wise, he's about as good as Kirk Cousins, right?
Baker?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Baker got some talent. how that talent actually develops is going to depend on the coaching that he get, and obviously the coaching last year that he was getting, he looked like he regressed in some aspects. But
I
it
feel like
remains to be seen because he damn sure got the weapons there. So
got the
if a new coach don't do the job, they're gonna be looking in another direction here pretty soon. I mean, he under a rookie contract now as a first round pick, so they probably stuck with him for at least the next 2 years.
right.
But after that fourth year, when it started like, okay, we picking up a fifth year option on this guy, or you know what I'm saying, are we looking in another direction?
It'd be fascinating if they have another bad season and end up with a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah, that's true. But one thing that they gotta, but one thing Baker's got to do though, before you even start talking about the football shitting on the field, he got to grow up a little bit. You got to grow up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he not out here, getting in trouble with the law, and you ain't hearing about him, off the field in that manner. But just the way he handles with the media,
right.
the little smug attitude, like, dude, you ain't accomplished shit in this league. You got a long way to go. You got a lot to learn. You talented, but at the same time, you out here like you kind of, in a way, it comes across like you think you know it all already. And like I said, you haven't done shit. So he got to grow up in that. Exactly. So he got to grow up in that aspect first. So can Stefanski and the new staff help him with that first and foremost is where they got to start.
Absolutely. It starts there. I tell you what, I heard it on TV a lot this year, and I ain't paid the shit no mind. But the more I started to pay attention, Baker shot a lot of fucking commercials this summer. I mean, goddamn, how many commercials did he shoot for Progressive?
I didn't even realize it. It's a lot of them out there.
Because him and his wife shot every bit of 7 commercials for Progressive this summer. Every bit of.
Yeah.
They were saying it on TV, like, he spent the whole summer with commercials. He got more commercials than wins. And I was like, they just messing with him because he got a lot of commercials, a lot. So
okay, so this year maybe dial it back a little bit because I know I'm not one of those people who say, hey, if I see you doing one thing, hey, you could be using that time to study your playbook. Nobody studies that playbook 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But again, when you have the season that you had, it's just a perception. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you do need to refocus a little bit and take this off season a little differently. You can't be a rock star losing.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So
you probably won't even get the opportunity for all them commercials this coming.
Exactly. Now, it's one thing you coming in as a rookie, number 1 pick and all that. Yeah, you're going to get some endorsements right off the back just because. After that, you got to win.
You got to win.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody endorsing losers. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out here buying products because Ryan Fitzpatrick is endorsing them. You know what I'm saying? But they buying Bose headphones because Russell Wilson's still rocking them. They buying whatever the fuck Patrick Mahomes is selling. Lamar Jackson can sell some shit right now. Deshaun Watson can sell some shit. There's some cats out here that can sell some shit.
Absolutely.
And they winners.
Absolutely. All day long with that one. All right, next up, what do we have here? Luke Kuechly retired. You hit me the other day. No, I think you hit us in the personal chat. You was like, yeah, Luke gone. I was like, huh? It's like your linebacker just retired.
Out of left field, just.
Like, what the hell? Well, he retired. And listening to watching his interview and him giving his statement, Luke had stuff going on.
Yeah, because it made me wonder because you probably felt how I felt 5 or 6 years ago when it just came out of the blue one night. Patrick Willis said he was retiring. I was like, what? What you mean?
I'm gonna say I felt different, and I'm gonna tell you why. Did Patrick have a lot of those same injuries? The heads.
His was his toe.
Okay.
He could never get his toe right.
Okay.
And so that was hindering, how he was able to just run. So it's crazy. But I was just saying something as small as that is what took him out. But back to Luke.
But I'm with you on that. It was out of left field. He's 28. That's easily, I ain't gonna say 40 like the quarterbacks, but that's at least leaving 5-6 years on the table, at least.
Right.
But for him to walk away now, he left $20 million worth of salary on the table. But Luke made real money in between that. I left my notes at work. I did work on some notes. I left them in my other notebook. One common denominator I noticed with a lot of these cats who have been retiring early, they bank $40 million at least. At least.
Yeah. It's the high price guys, Yep. Patrick Willis made a bit amount of money.
Yep.
Andrew
Calvin
Luck, we know
Johnson
he
had real money.
Calvin Johnson, Andrew Luck, they you know what I'm saying, they made their money. The only cat, and only of course because he played on my team, but also he was in the Aaron Hernandez documentary, Chris Borland. He was like a rookie with us during those like Chip Kelly, Jim Tomsula years.
Yeah.
And he retired after 1 year.
Yeah.
Because and then you saw what he was saying about the head injuries and things in that documentary. If you've seen all three parts,
I gotta finish watching it.
But yeah, it is a trend with some cats retiring early, but it's cats that have made money too. Yeah. So when you done made your money, yeah, it's a little bit easier. With Luke, it was like you said, it was telling the interview that he did. And him just describing that he didn't want to. He kept kind of reiterating that, but he knew it was the wrong decision to keep playing.
Right.
I was wondering because I was like, okay, he didn't have any concussions this year. This was like the first year he was clean from any concussions, I think, in a while. Right. Unless they had some during practice that they didn't disclose.
And that's what I think it was.
Or it's either that or what I thought initially was, did something happen here these last couple of months where, I don't know, did he have some blackouts? Is he starting to have bright lights is affecting him? Yeah. Is he starting to have some other symptoms? And maybe he wouldn't have got checked out. And, it's like, hey, dog, it's only going to get worse if you keep playing. I wonder if it was one of those kind of things.
We're only maybe 2 or 3 years removed from when he got carted off on that Thursday night crying from that concussion. We're not that far removed. So, you let me bank $40 million, and I'm still young, and I'm tired of getting knocked out. I might walk. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that might be the new thing now. You might get 8 to 10 years, and these dudes are gone.
Hey man, I think it should be. Get your money and get the hell out. Because we're starting to see. What's that?
Here's a caveat to that too. Look at Larry Fitzgerald. All them years he done played. Has Larry had a serious injury?
Not that I can really recall.
I guess it's a case by case basis. Of course, they play different positions, but some dudes don't get hurt. It's amazing how that works. But maybe it will start to be that. Maybe if I'm the league, I might start trying to do more of those Kirk Cousins type contracts. 3 years fully guaranteed. Instead of you just walking away on me, what am I handing you 6-7 years for? And you might leave,
Yeah, it might. I mean, it might get to. It might be a while before it gets to that point because it's still a very small percentage of the players doing it. But it's definitely something they got to think about. I'm in favor of the 3-year deal anyway because I just think it's in the best interest of everybody, the player and the team. Don't tie yourself into a long-term situation that you can see probably in the second year that this shit ain't gonna work.
Man, y'all better follow that boy Ramon. That 2-year deal, 3-year deal, 2 plus that player option.
Yeah, and look at Kirk Cousins now. He only got 1 year. He probably about to get another extension.
Yep.
So why not?
Why not? We've been doing that for years, people. 2 plus 1. Tim Duncan was doing it before Brian, truth be told. He was just doing 3 guaranteed. He just didn't have no option on that last year.
Right.
But nothing wrong with that. So we're at a complete rebuild in Carolina. It's funny. I said to you the other day, I was like, damn, with this happening to Luke, everybody walking away, it looks like the whole band is falling apart. I said, shit, maybe Cam will walk away. You was like, Cam ain't going nowhere. And, in the light of this recent news this week with, him and his personal life, Cam, you got to keep playing.
Yeah.
You got to keep playing.
Yeah. Cam, it might be time to go ahead and get clipped, dog. I mean.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. You
it's outpatient, dog.
can go home the same day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Um,
Yeah, Cam ain't gonna be able to retire people. He's gonna try to find a job somewhere, holding a clipboard, doing something. Cam Newton has to keep playing football. All right, next up. Happy trails to Eli Manning. I'm happy
yeah,
that he did it this way. I'm happy that he didn't waste people's time going around saying I can still start and all that shit. I'm glad he did it. Just walk away with dignity. It's cool. You
yeah,
got
man.
your rings. You're never paying for a drink or dinner. I normally say drink, but I think with 2 Super Bowls, he shouldn't have to pay for dinner.
Oh yeah, absolutely not. You can go to any high end steakhouse in New York and get whatever the hell you want. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, for life.
But you know the most impressive thing about me about Eli, I mean obviously the 2 Super Bowls is kind of really the only thing to be impressed about. But damn sure they ain't all them interceptions he used to throw.
No.
But the fact that he never missed a start due to injury in his whole career.
Talk about
that
durability.
that's crazy. And before anybody says, well, they got to protect it so you can't really hit quarterbacks. That kind of really just started here the last few years. So shout out to Eli. I want to say before he was really the first Jameis. Well, not the first one because there's been plenty of other quarterbacks that threw 20 and 20 or 30. Well, 30 and 30 is Jameis in the league by itself there. But Eli was pretty consistent on that 18 to 20, 25 touchdowns and interceptions every year. So he had his 2 good runs. He's going to get in the Hall of Fame. I know y'all want to debate this till the cows come home.
Well, that's what I got.
I don't think he's an NFL. I mean, I don't think he's a Hall of Fame talent, but he's got 2 Super Bowl rings and his last name is Manning. He's getting in.
So
he's getting in.
I was looking at it today and I pulled up Kurt Warner. And because he got in recently, and I kind of felt like that was quick. I wasn't for sure about him. Warner was 67 of 49, and he threw for 32,000 yards, 208 touchdowns, only 128 picks. But then you go to Eli. Eli was 117 and 117, 57,000 yards, 366 touchdowns, 244 interceptions. He's getting in. If Kurt Warner got in with those numbers, Eli's getting in all day.
Well, the thing that they throw in Kurt Warner is he came into the game late.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he didn't start. He was succeeding in what was it, Arena League or wherever he was first. So that's kind of his thing. But if I had to just compare the 2, I'm taking Kurt Warner over Eli all day.
Well, yeah, because he took care of the ball. I mean, Eli damn near doubled him in interceptions.
Yeah.
And he was a rookie coming behind Kurt Warner. So he'll get enough that name alone.
The only thing I think is I guess a debate is whether he gets in first ballot. That
make him wait a year. I mean, ain't no quarterbacks really in the pipeline right now, I don't think.
I guess 5 years from now, I guess it just depends who's still there.
I can't think of anybody who retired recently that would have a gripe to get in. Brett Favre got in. McNabb, you ain't getting in. Yeah, so he'll probably walk in first ballot. I can see it.
That depends, because just because you're a quarterback, you don't have to get in. You don't have to be a quarterback chosen. So
it's not position. That's true. But what I meant by that is nobody's even out there, quarterback wise that I can think of that retired in the last 5 to 10 that would even come up. I can't think of one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, quarterbacks. Yeah, you're right. I'm trying to think. Yeah, because ain't nobody really walked away. We just wait. Because if Phillip Rivers walks away,
well, yeah, they'll be the same time though.
Right. So let's just say Breeze and Brady say fuck it this year and don't play no more. He got to wait a long time then. Because you know what I'm saying. So it'll depend on who there, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Because you got a lot of cats now that's still out there that should be in. You see how long they made T.O. wait. Yeah. So it depends.
And if he waited 3 years, what's wrong with that?
Huh?
If he had to wait 2 or 3 years, what's wrong with that?
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
244 interceptions. Oh, but and that's not even talking fumbles, just interceptions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Then see the more we talk, I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that first ballot. No matter of fact, I know he wouldn't get my vote on the first ballot.
Unless Peyton's behind the scenes, like, go ahead and let little bro win first ballot.
You already know the politicking has begun.
Yes, sir. All right. Phillip Rivers moved his family to Florida. He said to be closer to the rest of his family, and he's going to see what happens with the rest of his career. I honestly think he should go ahead and hang him up too. I think you mentioned to me you heard about him possibly going to Tampa, but why would you?
Well, no.
If I'm Tampa.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't hear Tampa. It's just after when he moved to Florida, I'm thinking somewhere close by the family, and so I was thinking of the Florida teams. But that's only if they decide to go a different route from Jameis Winston. And then, like we were talking about, I'd rather have the young turnover machine than the old turnover machine. So that's easy.
Not even a discussion. You said Jameis about to turn 26.
Yeah. Man, that's it.
I wouldn't even bring him in for a visit unless he cool with holding a clipboard. That's it.
Right.
So
exactly.
I would walk. But then you made a good point. You was like, hell, he threw for almost 4,500 yards last year. So maybe he knows something we don't know. For him to move his family across the country without even seeing how it was gonna play out in LA. Maybe they already done told him, like, man, go ahead and get all your shit out the locker.
Because he didn't have he did. Yeah, he was a free agent, right? He's a free agent.
Yeah, he's free.
Yeah. Oh man, we'll see here soon. The next month or so, we'll definitely see.
I think last time we was on here, we was talking about, all these jobs we thought was going to be available, they really not.
Yeah, and that's the thing with him. It's not really any jobs.
No, it's not. I mean, technically, it's one job left that I can recall: the Chargers. Unless you go somewhere like Chicago, like, yeah, I come in as a backup, sure, no problem. I'm gonna bust ass in practice. He gonna suck them games. You ain't gonna have no choice but to put me in. But past that, there are no jobs out there.
Unless it's a situation where, a team like a Cincinnati or maybe even a Miami with a Burrow and a Tua, maybe they feel maybe they don't want to play them the first year, and you bring a vet like Phillip Rivers in for 1 year. It's kind of a bridge, that kind of situation. But if I'm Phillip Rivers and I'm 38, 39, however the fuck old he is, and I done made the money. You know what I'm saying? I done made the money. I got 17 kids. He obviously never got clipped. I'm not getting in no rebuilding situation. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hard up for no money. So why the fuck go back out here and put my old ass body on the line, go through training camp, go through all that off-season shit. You know what I'm saying? Go through a whole season just to end up fucking
system.
New coaches and that just to be 6-10. Fuck that.
Right. Right. Yeah, if I'm him, and I know I brought it up last time. I'm not sure what the Colts gonna do at quarterback. They got to bring some competition in. You have to up there.
That could be a situation because that division is still winnable.
Yeah, I don't believe Jacksonville. I think they're gonna stay where they are. Because they got Minshew and then you paid Foles, so you got to give them at least another year. So there are no jobs out there. And if I'm him, his old ass, he wants to go play outside in the cold somewhere. You going to Chicago? Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But if you had to ask me right now, I think it's 70-30. Phillip Rivers retires along with Eli.
And there's nothing wrong with it. And Carolina, if y'all bring him in over a healthy Cam Newton, I think you'll have a mutiny on your hands.
Yes.
I really think
there will be outrage in Charlotte.
Yes, sir. So, I done heard that floating around. He went to NC State. He can be a bridge for a young quarterback. Okay.
Right. So can Cam. So can Cam Newton.
Right. Right. And he playing for something for real right now. So for real. All right.
Yeah.
What else we got? Talked about Cleveland. Oh, the national championship game was last Monday. LSU ended up winning the game over Clemson. I believe LSU just scored again. Joe Burrow had a good season, cuz.
Very good season, like 65 touchdowns or something crazy like that. And the way that game started, it looked like Clemson was about to beat the brakes off of them. It was, I think, when it went to like 17-7, I was like, okay. But then it was they flipped the switch, and before you knew it, Clemson receivers couldn't remotely get open. They couldn't stop LSU, what LSU was doing with the receivers or the running back. It was crazy. But shout out to LSU, good season. I hate that y'all had to beat my dogs to do it, but y'all were the best team in the league this year. It's a damn shame that some of your celebration got overshadowed by Odell's drunk ass after the game.
I don't want to dig deep into that. That was just some dumb shit. I'm glad they dropped them charges, but Odell, it ain't got to be about you all the time, cuz.
Odell was lit. Did you see the clip I sent you where he was in the crowd? Like, I don't know if it was during or before the game, blowing on one of the band members' horns or some shit. And one of the security people was trying to stop him, and he was not wanting to give up the horn. It was Odell was on one that night. That
was Hennessy drunk.
Yeah, he was done. He was done.
So LSU loses their quarterback. They lose their offensive coordinator, and I want to say the defensive coordinator left too. So
a lot of people left. A lot of kids went pro. So we'll see where they are. We'll see where they are next year.
Absolutely. Clemson, with this the third national championship game. It's got to be the fourth.
Fourth in the last 4 and 5 years. Yep.
That's the shit.
Yep, 4th in 5 years. The only one that they weren't a part of was the one where it was UGA in Alabama.
Gotcha.
Everyone over the last 5 years they've been in.
That's the shit. Clemson, y'all enjoy Dabo. Y'all make sure he's comfortable. Because when it comes time for Nick Saban to walk away, Alabama's coming for him. They're going to offer him the moon to come home and take over their program. But he building such a monster up there himself. I mean, he probably still going to listen because he went there.
Yeah, I'd say he should be getting to the point where I'm not sure if anything will entice him to leave.
Yeah, I mean, reason I think he listens because he's from there and he played there. That's it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think school.
Yeah, he give him that respect. I think. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he give him that respect and use it as a little bit of leverage. Clemson. Bump a pay up a little bit more, baby. Bump a pay up a little bit more. Yeah,
there you absolutely go. Michigan State couldn't call him or let me talk to you about this job.
Hell no. Yeah, he's not picking up the phone for nobody but Alabama. And that it's just a cordial conversation too.
That's it. So, what else we got on that? Well, finish up real quick on Joe Burrow. I ain't like the way he, told that story and said that money was real.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that was some sucker. That was some sucker shit, Joe. Don't be like D'Angelo Russell out here. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You got some NFL grown men locker rooms to go into here. Yep. It's your future. Chill out with that. I didn't hear the audio piece of it, so I don't know whether it was a tongue-in-cheek comment, whether he was trying to be funny, what the tone was or not. But I know reading it, it didn't come across very well in my eye.
Didn't like that at all.
Yeah, and if you were playing, stop playing like that.
Right. All right, we're gonna step into a bit of hypothetical. I know you don't like it, but fuck it.
Let's do it.
If you're Cincinnati, would you entertain anybody on that pick?
Hell yeah.
I would too. If I'm Cincinnati now, as a Carolina fan, I don't want to trade away 2-3 drafts to get this dude. But if I'm Cincinnati, I'm open for business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got hella holes to fill. This dude, what you said, 65 touchdowns? Shit, the haul you can get for him?
Exactly. And it's the number one pick. Right. So,
we'll start point. 3 first, definitely easily.
I would have
y'all got 2, I think.
I'm trying to think what we got for Trubisky, and we didn't even have the number 1 pick. I think we had the 2nd pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it would have to be more than that. So yeah, 3 firsts is probably 2, definitely 2.
Yeah.
And if you're not coming with 3 firsts, you better be coming with 2 firsts and 2 seconds.
Easily.
And then something else too, probably.
Easily.
So yeah, I definitely would listen. That's
Right.
why I think it's a good idea that they came out and said, we ain't made no decisions yet.
Right.
We gotta go to the pro days, we gotta go to the combine. If it's a guy that I like, maybe just a little bit less than Joe Burrow,
right,
and I can get a haul,
right.
Hey man, I'm gonna get that haul. I'm gonna fall because you probably only gonna. We're talking about probably teams within the top 7 or 8 that's gonna jump up.
Miami, Carolina, San Diego.
Right.
That's it.
I'm saying
you're doing business with one of them 3.
Exactly. And Miami, I hope Miami is not on my phone thinking that you're not giving away at least that 4th pick. I'm not trading back no further than that.
Yeah, so Miami got 3 firsts.
Exactly. But they might come in trying to lowball, give them the latter of the 2 first-round picks. Nah, that 4th pick is included. Or get off my damn phone. But I'm definitely listening. Absolutely, I'm definitely listening.
I would listen. So yeah, that dude did come out from Cincy last week. Like, we didn't say that.
Yeah. Now, once you go through all your pro days and everything, and you see, well, nah, man, this cat, Joe Burrow, he just way better than any of these other dudes. You know what I'm saying? And we can't afford to try to wait and see what's going to happen with Sunshine or Justin Fields or anybody else coming out next year. Right. This is our guy. We got to go ahead and do it. Then so be it. But at this point, yeah, definitely do your due diligence.
All day. Okay.
Damn, draft ain't till what? April, May?
Yeah. April.
You ain't got to make no damn decisions right now.
Right. And I believe they said Tua is going to be throwing before the draft. So I know how you feel about him, but he was the consensus number 1 before he got hurt.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow caught on fire this year. So, and that's another thing that would concern me as well. Mm-hmm. Where was this at last year? I know they changed.
Well, that makes a big difference though when you running, because you think about the style of offense LSU has ran for years. Yeah. They out there trying to win a game 17-10. So when you hand them the ball off 40 times a game and you ain't even getting the opportunity to throw, and you're in a certain offense, and it definitely makes a big difference when you bring somebody in that's going to come in and open it up and widen it out. Now, with that same logic though, Joe Brady, where was he at last year? Because I'm not sure where he was at last year. I know this is kind of his offense.
Yeah.
But I would have to see where he was last year and were they successful. Right. Because this could be a 1-year, one-hit wonder for him too. And now he didn't got a pro. Well, he's an offensive coordinator, but it's still a pro job, off of one college year. So they both still going to have things to prove when it comes to next year. But I don't think by any means we looking at he may turn out to be, but I don't think it's a Andrew Luck type situation where that this the guy. This dude going to be it for the next 10 to 15 years. It ain't that type of situation, I don't think.
Well, shoot me straight. Should I be worried as a Panthers fan? They got his OC.
About what?
We're rebuilding. Are they going to push them chips in the middle of the table and try to go get him?
First of all, what kind of collateral y'all got? Because that'll even.
I mean, of course, we got 7. They probably going to want a player thrown in there, your young guy or something. But I'm just concerned about them giving 2 or 3 firsts away to go get him, because having Brady there, you saw what they did in college. If we're rebuilding at this point, I can see them actually trying to go do that shit. And I don't want that to happen.
Well, I don't know if – I think Cincinnati, if they're going to do it, I think they're going to want those picks to kind of be immediate within this year and next year. I don't think stretching them out over years is going to be the MO. That's why I said I have to see, or maybe off the top, what type of picks y'all got, what type of collateral y'all got this year, and then maybe next year. Because y'all may not even have enough for them to even pick up the phone. Gotcha. And if that's the case, then, you ain't got to worry yourself about it. Start looking at, Justin Hebert, or maybe y'all don't even go quarterback. Maybe y'all don't go with drafting a quarterback. Maybe you don't like what you see this year.
I really think you let
No.
Cam play. And if we
Mhm.
suck, you know we're gonna be in play for Sunshine. You already know if we suck. So,
Right.
we'll see which way that goes, but it's a long time.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
definitely
because
have
if you don't, because you'll be able to know kind of midway through the season, latter part, November or so. If you're in the playoff hunt, then keep rolling with Cam. If he's still there. If
Yeah.
not, if you have a season like you did this year, and you know playoffs is out of reach, pull Cam. You know you gone after that, Cam.
Yeah.
Put Will Greer or whatever the other Kyle Allen, put their ass back out there just to kind of finish off the season, tank so to speak.
Yeah.
Try to get up as high as you can, and
Yeah.
then try to go after Sunshine. If you know what I'm saying,
Right.
maybe that's the MO.
Yeah, that definitely could be the play as well. All right, what else? We got anything else NFL wise? Anything?
I did. Well, shout out to all the Pro Bowlers. Pro Bowl this week. I had I didn't vote on Pro Bowl this year. I never said anything about it, but I said I wasn't voting on the Pro Bowl because I don't want us to even be in there, be there anyway. And here we are. But shout out to all them dudes. A lot of them got more bonuses for getting there. So y'all enjoy that weekend or whatever. That's about it NFL wise. Like you said, this is it.
Something else too.
Okay.
Zeke got 90. I think 50 guaranteed. Tennessee got to hand that much to Derrick Henry, right?
It's gonna be interesting you look at somebody it was I think a beat reporter had actually brought this up on Twitter. I saw it. You think about the amount of carries that he got this year, and when these cats get the amount of carries, you look at DeMarco Murray.
Yeah.
It's a couple other ones. Damn, of course, escaping me right now. But the production starts to go down a lot.
Yeah.
And he ain't no shifty back. He just straight basically run at you each time.
Yeah.
That kind of back don't last long.
Right.
And it looked good now. So Tennessee's got to kind of be strategic with that investment. You can't let them walk. You know what I'm saying? You can't let them walk, but you can't put yourself in a bind like the Rams are in right now.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? You can't do that either. So it's going to be interesting.
He is 26.
Is McCaffrey getting it? Is he up for a this year or next year?
Next year. And Derek just turned 26. 30 is a magic number. So
I give him three. I give him. Nah, I give him 3-year deal. I'm looking at 3-year deals.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll load the money up a little bit more, but I'm not tying myself in. Well, I mean, the owners don't really give a fuck anyway because they can cut you at any time anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I'm thinking basketball terms. And there's no incentive really for them to kind of do more money up front. Because they can get rid of your ass at the end anyway.
They be like, "Here, Derek, here's 10 years, 150 million. Yeah, you'll see that money."
Right. You know what I'm saying? He'll get a nice bonus up front. They're going to backload the rest of that shit, get themselves a nice, small, dead money cap out, probably with 2 years left on it, and get the hell on. That's how they always do.
To the ground and get gone with it. All right. All right, that's that. Got a little bit of basketball before we get up out of here. All-star starters were named. I think in the West it was Bron, AD, Kawhi, Luka. Who was the other guard? Was it Harden?
Yeah.
Harden. Okay. And then the East, you got Kemba, you got Trae Young. Shout out to Trae. Pascal Siakam. Who's the other one? Embiid.
Embiid and Giannis.
And of course, they'll do the picking thing where they actually decide the teams. But hey, man, 2 years in the league, he's starting an all-star game. Shout out to Trae Young. Shout out to him.
Now, let me ask you this because I saw it right before we came on. People talking about it already. What is Jimmy Butler classified as, a guard or a forward? Because people talk about why the hell is Trae Young in over him.
They got him classified as a forward, I believe.
Okay. So that's why he did. Okay. Because if he was classified as guard and Trae Young made it over him, I'm a Hawks fan. Trae, my guy. He the leader of our team right now. But I don't think he would have deserved it over Jimmy Butler.
But you know how that go, though. That's a popularity contest. And Jimmy gives two fucks about being popular. He's a winner, But in that regard, Trey Young, he on Instagram, whatever. So,
yeah. Well, they changed. It's not, it's not strictly fan vote. It's a third, and the coaches as well. So, but no, that's interesting. I wanted.
I think he's averaging 28 a game. I mean, we're losing bad like every night. But
he's got some good. Yeah, he's got some good numbers. Zach? Is it Zach Lowe? Zach Lowe had an article.
His list today. I didn't.
He had Trey on the fringe of even making it, and he highlighted his defense or lack thereof.
Yeah,
I think he's the worst rated or the second to last worst rated defender in the league.
Yep.
So he thought he talked about that. He's like, yeah, he got numbers. He shoots a lot of threes. He a volume shooter, but the team is losing like a lot.
Yeah.
And you got some guys that's got some better records with some comparable numbers. So he barely had Trey even making it. But here we go. Trey made it as a starter.
Absolutely. So that got done. It was a terrible fight in Kansas the other night.
A little scuffle.
Yeah, and I'm fully in support of this being Kansas State's fault because they shouldn't have stole that ball when they was doing the right thing, dribbling it out. You shouldn't have stole the ball and try to get that last layup. Have some class. Now, don't get me wrong, dude. Try to hit him with the damn stool. That was ridiculous, but
Yeah, it's like I understand. I don't mind. I think it's Del Souza is his name. Yeah, once the guy steal the ball from you on some bullshit like that, I don't mind you coming down the shot and beating the layup. After that, that's where it should have stopped.
Walk away. You should have stood over him.
Yeah, the stud standing over him and all that. You know what that's going to entice. You know what I'm saying? If not from the person that you standing over, teammates gonna run over and ain't gonna let that shit ride. Right. And it kind of went from there. But it is what it is. That shit happens.
Hey, you think the Tar Heels will win a game anytime soon?
Hey man, I just don't want them to kill Roy this year, man. You know what I'm saying, do not kill our coach, dog. I don't know what y'all out there doing. Yeah, for real. Because but I'm looking at games, and after Cole Anthony went out, I'm looking at games, and I'm realizing, damn, Brandon Robinson probably our best backcourt player. And true. Brandon Robinson like a 17-year senior. I want to say he played with Marcus. He played on the team with Marcus Page.
Yes, he did. Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, that's it. That's where we at. We lost to Clemson at home. Never lost to Clemson at home. Lost to Clemson at home.
I'm concerned about who's our lead recruiter. We got past the bullshit.
Recruiting
weren't getting everybody before because we had that academic thing hanging over us. We got past that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And of course, it don't always come down to pros. It don't. But what's the last good Carolina pro? Ty Lawson?
Oh, with pros is one thing, but you talking about the recruiting. I think we're fine on recruiting. We got I just saw we got 4 of the McDonald's kids in this game already committed.
Is that game on tonight?
No, it's not. No, it's not on tonight.
Okay.
I don't think. Well, no, it is usually around. It's around All-Star time. Somewhere around. I know
they announced it on the jump who was in it, so I didn't know if it was on tonight. But
no, it'll be in a couple of weeks. Matter of fact, I'm gonna check and see if it's here again. But now I think we're fine on the recruiting. I think what fucks us up in these off years, of course, Cole Anthony getting hurt, that was a big blow. But when you have a guy that leaves maybe a little too early, and you don't have somebody to kind of replace him, or you got a guy like we got a couple kids like what's that kid name? Leaky Black. He was supposed to be more of a contributor. He stayed hurt. So when you got guys that leave, and then the guys that are left are supposed to be the ones to kind of step up, and they don't for whatever reason, then you get what we got now, where I think we're 8-9 right now. Of course, we ain't making the NCAA tournament unless we pull off some kind of miracle and win an ACC tournament. We might not get a damn NIT invite at this point.
Yeah, y'all keep roaring your.
Now that would be a low. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for us not to make the tournament, which is I don't even want to think about that, but that's the reality we're facing. But to not even go to the NIT, that would be a new low in Carolina basketball.
All right.
But them Carolina Jordan 3s are coming out on March 7th. That's going to be the highlight of our season.
All right. We about to get it. Let's talk about the big story from last night before we go. Zion finally played last night. Played. And I know I'm not in the minority when I say this. He don't look healthy at all. Didn't he look gimpy to you?
He I ain't gonna say he's fat, but I mean Zion got that high ass booty, man. So he walk and he run a certain way. Remember they say they're trying to kind of change and alter the way that he walks.
That's right.
Yeah, he got that funny backwood country, you know what I'm saying, get up.
Because I was like, okay, he looks like he's laboring. Why the fuck is he out here?
Yeah. He like he's just kind of dragging his feet, you know what I'm saying? It's the conditioning, you got to kind of get out there, get your feet wet. I'm pretty sure he was nervous as hell. You could tell on some of the turnovers, he was just dribbling and fumbling the ball away. It got to a point, I just stopped watching the game. It was on, but I started watching something else on another screen because it was just bad. And then I look up, fourth quarter. I said, okay, well, the game is close. I kind of tune in and I'm, wait a minute. I said, Zion just got one basket. He's got two baskets. And then before you know it, he went from 5 points to 22 points. I mean, talking about just erupted. Yes. And that's what the Pelicans that's what they've been wanting to see all year. That's why they can't wait to get him on the court. So I think he's going to be fine. Of course, the question is going to always come up about his weight, his health. Can he stay healthy and all of that? But considering that was his first game since March of he played in preseason. So, yeah. But anyway, I think it was a decent debut. But he does look out of sync. He does look like he needs some more conditioning. I know they said that was part of the reason they delayed his comeback so much because, of course, NBA teams don't get a whole lot of practice time. Right. So they didn't get enough practice time. They wanted more practice time so he can get better conditioning before he played the game. Right. So we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward. But I think he'll be all right, though. I think he'll be fine.
That was a great, start considering. But like you said, the late quarters, he didn't look good at all. But for him to make jump shots, threes, and he's not even dunking right now. Wait till he gets fully healthy. I like that little team. I do. Lonzo, probably the best thing for him to get from that LA spotlight. Well, they really about to have some spotlight with Zion back now. But to get out of LA, he's actually playing ball, hooping. You don't hear his daddy chirping. He looks healthy. Got muscle on him. B.I.
The new shot looks good.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So,
and when you talk about him getting out of LA, even though they're about to have a lot of hype with Zion, which is true, it's still different because he's from LA. He's been in LA all his life, and it's good that he can get, just like you said, get out of LA completely. Because unfortunately, even if his dad had not been who he is and as loud as he was when Zoe came into the league, just being from there, being that star, being at UCLA, being a star. If he was on the Lakers, he was going to have some pressure anyway. Being from the area, his dad made it 20 times worse.
Well, shit, you know Magic didn't help. And he's talking about, we're going to be hanging your jersey in some years. I'm like, dude, he ain't played the game.
Yeah.
But I think that's about it. Conor McGregor beat some dude Saturday in like 40 seconds. I ain't even turned on at all.
Man, and I really want – did you hear what Bob Arum said?
What did he say?
Bob Arum wants to propose a 2-fight deal between Conor and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a boxer. Talking about he wants where one fight, the first fight would be UFC style, and then the second fight would be boxing. I wish I would really stop with this gimmick shit and these money grabs. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a lot of motherfuckers out here bare knuckle fighting or UFC and jiu-jitsu, whatever the fuck it is that they do over there in that damn octagon. It's more than enough people at 135, 40 pounds or whatever the fuck kind of weight. It's enough people in his class for him to go fight. All right? All this mixing and matching of boxing and UFC, y'all cut that shit out. Somebody gonna get hurt. Somebody gonna get hurt. Just stop that shit. Terrence Crawford will be a goddamn fool They let Bob Arum's old ass sign him up to get into an octagon first. It'd be different maybe if the first one was going to be a boxing match. Let me whip his ass in my arena first.
Yeah.
You going to go to his arena and get he's got a best
first.
Yes. Yes. You are a boxer. What you going to do when he tackle your ass to the ground, Terrence Crawford? What you going to do? Tap out? That's exactly what's going to happen. Hey, cut that shit out, man.
Why don't you tell us how you really feel? Let's get up.
Cut that bullshit out, man. Cut that shit out. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. This is episode 209 of AA Sportscast. Again, check us out on Twitter. We're also on got a Facebook page up too. Shout out to the Urban Arena crew. But check out the podcast on Apple iTunes or Spreaker, and you can also check us out on the YouTube channel. Uncle Hey, tell these people where to reach you at on social media.
At RK6000, holla at me. I talk sports.
All right, you can holler at me. I'm at Diego Barish. Again, I'm on Twitter as well. We'll holler at y'all next week with the Super Bowl preview. Of course, y'all know who I got. My boys, let's get this 6 thing done. Let's get it, baby. Don't hate, baby. Don't hate, Uncle Hate.
You know who I'm taking.
I know who you're taking. I heard about a bet you got. We'll talk about that next week. All right, man. We'll holler at y'all later. Y'all be easy. Peace.